Stop scrolling for a second. I need to talk about a book that completely took over my brain. The name is Fourth Wing. And no, this is not just another fantasy romance book that people hype for 1 week and then forget. This book is an addiction. It is the kind of story that grabs your mind, your sleep, your emotions, and then refuses to let go. I started reading it thinking, okay, let me see what the hype is about. And then suddenly, it was 2 in the morning. My eyes were burning. I had work the next day, and I still could not stop. I kept telling myself, just one more chapter. That was a lie. With this book, one more chapter does not exist. And the crazy part is, I am not the only one. This book exploded everywhere. BookTok, BookTube, Instagram, reading groups, fan art pages, edits, theories, dragon discussions, romance clips, reaction videos. People are obsessed. And when I say obsessed, I mean truly obsessed. Some people love the dragons. Some people love the tension. Some people love the romance. Some people love the dangerous school setting. And some people, let us be honest, are here for a certain dark, powerful man named Xaden. Today, I am going to tell you why Fourth Wing became such a huge phenomenon and why this book makes people lose their minds. No ending spoilers, no big reveals, just the vibe, the setup, and the reason this story is so dangerously addictive. So first, let me tell you what kind of story this is. Fourth Wing is a fantasy novel written by Rebecca Yarros. But it is not fantasy in the slow, complicated, difficult-to-enter way. This is not the kind of book where you need a map, 10 family trees, and 3 hours of concentration just to understand page 1. This book throws you directly into the danger. It is fast, it is intense, it is emotional, it is dramatic in the best way. It feels like fantasy, romance, war, survival, and chaos all got mixed together and turned into one very addictive story. The world is built around a military college where students are trained for war. But this is not a normal war academy. This place trains dragon riders. Yes, real dragons. Huge, deadly, ancient dragons. And not cute fantasy dragons either. These dragons are not pets. They are not friendly horses with wings. They are powerful creatures who can burn you alive, ignore you, judge you, or kill you if they want to. That one detail already makes the book exciting. Because the moment dragons enter the story, everything becomes bigger. The danger becomes bigger. The stakes become bigger. And the emotions become bigger too. But the best thing about this world is that it feels cruel. It feels like failure has a price. People do not get protected here. If you are weak, you do not get sympathy. If you make a mistake, you may not get a second chance. That is what makes this book so gripping. It does not feel safe. And when a story does not feel safe, readers stay locked in. Now let us talk about the heart of the story, Violet Sorrengail. Violet is the reason this book works so well. She is not written like the usual fantasy hero who is secretly the strongest person in the room from page 1. She is not physically powerful. She is not built for battle. In fact, her body is fragile. She has a chronic condition that makes her joints and bones weaker than other people. She bruises easily. She gets hurt easily. A fall that others can survive could seriously injure her. That means she enters one of the most dangerous places in the world with a body that is already at a disadvantage, and that makes her instantly interesting. Because Violet knows she is not the strongest. She knows she cannot survive by pretending to be someone else. She cannot win with brute force. She cannot intimidate people. She cannot just charge into every problem with a sword and attitude. So what does she do instead? She thinks. She watches. She studies. She remembers details. She uses strategy. She uses intelligence. And that makes her different from so many fantasy leads. Violet was never even supposed to become a writer. Her plan was completely different. She wanted to be a scribe. Scribes are the people who record history, protect knowledge, and live a much safer life inside libraries and archives. That life actually fit her. She loves books. She loves learning. She notices things. She pays attention. That was supposed to be her future. But her mother, who is a powerful general, forces her into the rider's quadrant, the deadliest path possible. That choice changes everything. Violet is thrown into a brutal world that was never meant for someone like her. And suddenly, she has to survive in a place where most people believe she should not even be there. That is the reason readers connect to her so fast. She is not just fighting dragons and enemies. She is fighting expectations. She is fighting fear. She is fighting the voice in her own head that knows exactly how easy it would be for her to die. One of the first big reasons people get hooked is the parapet. This is one of the earliest tests in the book, and it immediately tells you what kind of story you are reading. The parapet is basically a narrow stone bridge high above the ground. The wind is strong. The drop is deadly. If you fall, you die. It is that simple. No safety rope, no rescue team, no comfort. Just one walk, one chance. And here is what makes it so stressful. Violet is not just trying to cross a dangerous bridge. She is crossing it while surrounded by people who want her to fail. Some people think she is too weak. Some people hate her family. Some people see her as an easy target. So the tension is not only physical, it is emotional too. She is entering a place where being underestimated is dangerous, but being noticed is also dangerous. This is where the book makes a brilliant first impression. Violet does not survive because she becomes magically strong. She survives because she uses her brain. She studies the wind. She controls her fear. She stays focused. She understands that panic will kill her faster than weakness. That moment tells readers exactly why they should care about her. She is not powerful in the obvious way. She is powerful in the way that feels real. She adapts. She endures. She refuses to quit. And once she survives that first nightmare, readers realize something important. If the very beginning is this intense, then what is the rest of the book going to be like? That is the moment many people get fully trapped. After that, the real nightmare begins. The Writer's Quadrant is not a school in the normal sense. It is more like a machine designed to break weak people and shape survivors. Students train, fight, compete, and struggle every single day. They are tested physically, mentally, and emotionally. Alliances matter. Reputation matters. Strength matters. One mistake can cost your life. And because this place is built on war, kindness is not guaranteed. That setting is so effective because it creates constant tension. Even quiet scenes feel dangerous. Even conversations feel loaded. Readers never fully relax. At any moment, someone can be injured, betrayed, humiliated, challenged, or killed. That unpredictability keeps the story alive. You keep turning pages because you want to know who can be trusted, who will survive, and how Violet is going to keep going in a place that clearly wants to crush her. And the social pressure inside the academy is just as interesting as the physical danger. Violet has to deal with classmates who look down on her, instructors who do not expect much from her, and a system that rewards power above almost everything else. But slowly, little by little, she starts proving that she belongs there in her own way. Not by becoming someone else, not by pretending to be fearless, but by learning how to survive on her own terms. That is one of the most satisfying things about the book. Violet does not stop being vulnerable. She becomes dangerous in a different way. And that kind of character growth is very addictive to read. Now let us talk about the dragons. Because honestly, even if the romance was removed, even if the academy drama was removed, the dragons alone would still make this book worth reading. They are not decoration. They are not background fantasy wallpaper. They are central to everything. They are proud, ancient, powerful, intelligent, and very hard to impress. In this world, becoming a rider is not something humans decide by themselves. A dragon has to choose you. That is the key. You do not own the dragon. You do not control the dragon. You are chosen, or you are not. And if no dragon wants you, then you do not become a rider. It is that simple. But even that is not the scariest part. The scariest part is that dragons can absolutely kill people they do not respect. This changes the emotional energy of the book in such a big way. Every scene involving dragons feels electric. You are not just waiting to see which dragon looks cool.
You are waiting to see which dragon sees something valuable in a human.
That makes the bond between rider and dragon feel meaningful. It has weight, it has tension, it has risk. And when the dragon-related scenes arrive, the scale of the story suddenly becomes epic. The academy feels dangerous, the war feels real, the fantasy feels alive. Also, and this matters a lot, the dragons have personality. They do not feel like generic creatures added for excitement. They feel old, they feel powerful. They feel like beings with their own standards, their own patience, and their own opinions. That is why readers become attached to them so quickly. The bonding moments in this book are some of the most exciting scenes in the entire story. I will not spoil them, but I will say this. If you love stories where the fantasy element truly matters, Fourth Wing delivers that in a big way. Okay, we need to talk about Xaden Riorson, because whether you read this book for dragons or not, sooner or later, you are going to meet this man and understand why the internet will not stop talking about him. Xaden is one of those characters who enters the story with instant gravity. He is powerful. He is dangerous. He is sharp. He carries pain, history, and threat all at once. And from the beginning, there is tension between him and Violet. Why tension? Because their families are deeply connected in a very bad way. Violet's mother played a role in destroying the rebel side that Xaden came from. That means he has every reason to hate her. He is not just some dark, mysterious man for romance points. He has actual reasons to be angry. That is what makes the relationship dynamic more compelling. The tension is built on politics, history, grief, and survival, not just attraction. And yet, despite all of that, the chemistry between Violet and Xaden is intense from the start. Not soft, not sweet, intense. Every conversation feels loaded. Every look feels dangerous. Every small moment feels like it could turn into a fight or something much more personal. That is the kind of romance tension readers love. It is not instant comfort. It is friction. It is distrust mixed with fascination. What makes this romance so addictive is that it never feels separate from the story. Their relationship is tied to power, risk, loyalty, and secrets. Violet cannot simply decide to trust him because he is handsome. Trust has consequences in this world. Every emotional choice means something. And Xaden is written in a way that feels both threatening and protective, which is exactly the kind of combination that creates obsession in fantasy romance readers. He is not perfect. He is not safe. He is not easy to understand. But that is exactly why people get attached. He feels like a storm, and every scene with him carries more energy because of that. So why is this book so hard to put down? The answer is actually very simple. It is built like an addiction machine. Every chapter gives you something: a threat, a reveal, a romantic moment, a training challenge, a new danger, a new question, a surprise, a quiet emotional beat. Then right when you think you can stop, the chapter ends in a way that forces you to keep going. That pacing is a huge reason for the success of the book. It does not spend too long in one mood. It knows when to give you tension. It knows when to give you drama. It knows when to give you longing. It knows when to punch you emotionally. And because the story is always moving, readers get pulled deeper and deeper without realizing how fast the pages are disappearing. Another reason it works is that it balances fantasy and emotion very well. Sometimes fantasy books have amazing worlds, but the characters feel cold. Sometimes romance books have great chemistry, but the world feels weak. Fourth Wing finds a middle space that works for a huge audience. If you want dragons, they are here. If you want danger, it is here. If you want enemies to lovers tension, it is here. If you want found family, politics, secrets, and emotional damage, yes, it is all here too. Also, the writing style is very accessible. It is easy to read, fast to enter, emotionally direct. That matters a lot for virality. A book becomes huge when both heavy fantasy readers and casual readers can enjoy it. Fourth Wing is exactly that kind of book. It feels cinematic. You can almost see the scenes in your head. That makes it perfect for online hype, fan edits, reaction videos, and dramatic reading content. Now let me be fair, this book is not perfect. Some readers feel that the language sometimes sounds more modern than they expect from a fantasy setting. Some people think a few scenes feel very dramatic in a modern, almost cinematic way, rather than a classic fantasy way. And if you are the type of reader who only likes very slow, very detailed, deeply political fantasy, then this may not fully match your taste. But here's the thing. Most people who love this book do not love it because it is technically perfect. They love it because it makes them feel something strongly. It makes them excited. It makes them stressed. It makes them obsessed. It makes them want to message their friends and scream about dragons and romance and impossible choices. That emotional effect matters more than perfection. Sometimes a story becomes huge not because it is flawless, but because it is alive. It has energy. It has heat. It has momentum. You can criticize parts of it and still admit that it is wildly entertaining. And Fourth Wing is wildly entertaining. That is the truth. If you are wondering whether this book is for you, let me make it simple. If you enjoy underdog characters, dangerous schools, fantasy worlds, dragons, tension-filled romance, strong emotional stakes, survival stories, or fast-paced plots, then yes, this book is probably for you. If you liked the energy of the Hunger Games, the intense relationships of popular fantasy romance, or stories where the main character has to outthink a brutal system, then there is a very high chance you will enjoy Fourth Wing. But if you want a very soft, peaceful fantasy with no pressure and no danger, this is not that. This book wants your heart rate high. It wants you nervous. It wants you attached. It wants you scared for the characters. And that is exactly why so many readers become emotionally trapped by it. Also, if you have never read fantasy before and you feel intimidated by the genre, this is actually one of the easier books to start with. It is dramatic, readable, and very entertaining. You do not need to be a fantasy expert to enjoy it. You just need to be ready to enter a world where dragons choose riders, love is dangerous, and survival is never guaranteed. My final opinion is simple. Fourth Wing is one of those books that people talk about so much for a reason. It is not random hype. It is not internet madness for nothing. This book knows how to pull readers in and keep them there. Violet is easy to root for. The Academy is intense. The dragons are incredible. Xaden brings fire to every scene, and the whole story feels built to make you say, okay, fine, one more chapter, until suddenly the book is finished and your soul is gone. So now I want to ask you something. Have you already read Fourth Wing? If yes, tell me without spoilers, what pulled you in first? Was it Violet, the dragons, the world, or Xaden? And if you have not read it yet, tell me what makes you more curious. The Dragon Academy, the enemies to lovers' tension, or the survival story. If you want more book videos like this, like, share, and subscribe. And if you want, I can also make a full video on Iron Flame next. Until then, happy reading. And be careful with this book, because once it gets into your head, it does not leave.